Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope y'all are doing okay. I know it's been a while, but I hope everybody is doing okay. I hope that you guys are enjoying your day thus far. Before we get into today's video, do not forget to give it a like, make sure you're subscribed, and leave a comment. Share the video if you care to. So today we're gonna do a story time. I always wanted to do story time because I have like the wildest stories, but my storytelling skills are not the best because number one, I have the attention span of a literal squirrel, and secondly, I do not think I bring enough drama and flair
Next, we get angry.
to really support the reality of the story. I think I just underplay a lot because time has passed. I'm outside as always, so the wind probably doing the most, but yeah. So today's story is about a time I got stranded in a hurricane. Yeah, I got stranded in a hurricane. Side note, I promise that whenever I leave home with my dad, something will happen. So I made a pact with myself, like not to ever leave home with him. And so the wildest things has always happened. We either end up getting stranded in some like middle of nowhere places. The craziest things just always happen. Okay, so this was back in I think 2011. I think 2011 we had a really bad hurricane, and my brother and I were by our grandparents in St. Andrew. So the hurricane was getting really bad. Like the roads were flooded, everything. It was like serious. People were losing their roofs. Like it was like a serious, like for death type situation. So I think the electricity was supposed to go out, and my dad said he had some like huge lights by his house, which was too far from my grandparents' house in St. Andrew, but it was all in St. Lucie, like Little Bay. So this is like middle of nowhere-ish, and his house wasn't completed at the time. He was like building it, so he had lights there because obviously they wouldn't have electricity, and like when you're building you need light, right? So he was like he can just go and grab them so that we could be safe. We could have lights if anything, if that was necessary, if it came to that. And it was only gonna take like probably like 15 to 20 minutes to drive up the hill and then like back down. So my grandmother was like, okay, just go and get the light, like that's no problem, blah blah blah. So I'm like, being kids, I was a teen or whatever, but you just want to go with your parents some things. So my brother and I were like, yeah, let's go. Like, I would just go for the drive and then come back down. We'd be back there in a few seconds, a few minutes. I just like reliving it now, and like my heart is like racing. We drive, we get up there, we park, and my dad, I don't even leave the vehicle. My dad just goes inside the house. I don't think it's either the roof wasn't on or the roof wasn't completed. I think the roof wasn't completed. So he got out. He went for the lights, put them back in the van, and we were ready to go. So he gets back in the vehicle and tries to start the vehicle. And because it's rainy, remember there was a lot of flooding on the roads or whatever, we can't move. Like we stick up. Like we literally stick up in the mud. If you're from Caribbean, like you know how it is to be stick up. Like yeah, we just like stick up, like really down in there. But like you're thinking like a van got enough power to get you through this. No, so he's like, alright, you know what? I can just try to give it like a little push. Just like turn the key and like press the gas. I think is what he was telling me to do. So we tried that for about a good 10-15 minutes. At this point, I still ain't worried, by the way, because I'm like, really, like I just did not expect what was gonna come. But that was the furthest thing from my mind. So I still ain't worried. I just said like, oh, the van just stick up or whatever. Like it's whatever. We can just give it a push or call somebody and like get help. Because as I said, like. We were too far from my grandmother's house, my grandparents' house. So like 10-15 minutes gone by, and this technique is not working. Like the whole pushing, trying to get it, like trying to loosen it from the mud, that is not working. By the way, you see, attention span of the squirrel. Shout out to Nate. He is the one who suggested doing story time today. I have never done a story time before, so like yes, thanks Nate. Right, so after 10-15 minutes, and I said that like 10 times, I was trying to push the thing on that working. So we like, let's just grab the cell phone and just like call somebody. So we check the cell phone, right? No signal. like no signal. And we were like, oh, okay, well, there are a few houses around. Like, at that point, my heart didn't completely sink yet. I'm like, oh, no signal. Like, what is this? Is this a movie? So we were like, let me just go to a few houses. Like, he went to like 2 or 3 houses. I think 2 of them, either people weren't home or people didn't answer. So then the one person that answered, he asked to use for help or whatever, but it was just a lady there, so she asked to make a phone call, and she ain't had any service either. So that's when my stomach sank, because they're in the front seat of the van. I'm like just literally in a piece of clothes, because I just like hopping from like point A to point B, and point B was like this close to point A, not really that close, but it wasn't that far. But it's just to be in the middle of nowhere, and it's like at this point in time it is like late evening, like 5:30 going into 6. So it's starting to get dark, and it's like I was like, this for real? I'm like, I hear what parents are supposed to know what to do. Parents figure these things out. So we there, and he's like, what, like we can just continue to try to get through to somebody. Hopefully we got service, so let's just go into the house, the structure. I mean, just call it the structure. So we in there, I just said like, yo, like this really happening? Like, this really happening? And my father, like, I've never seen fear on his face, but you could tell like he was like kind of like, yo, like like what really going on? Keep in mind, like there's a storm raging on the outside, like our roof ain't even like properly on this house, and there's just like 1 adult, 2 small kids. I was a teen, but still it was tiny. Me small in stature, 2 small kids. And it's like, what do we do? Like, what do we really do at this point? We had like just a mattress there in the house, the structure. And we were like, my push comes to shove, like cracking jokes and stuff. A lot of my memory is hazy, because I think I was literally traumatized. But we were like, my push comes to shove, a mattress there. So, we still trying. The phone is basically almost dead. This literally sounds like a movie. The phone is almost dead. And we just trying to find signal somewhere. Like, we're trying to find some sort of signal. And obviously, like, after a while, like, my grandmother and my grandparents would be like, all right, they've been gone a hot minute. Like, what's happening? Like, it's not like we going to an actual house. It's a structure. It's literally a structure. So after a while, I guess they tried to call. They really ain't getting through. We trying to call my mom. We trying to call everybody, and like we can't get out. Nothing like that. And night falls, like pitch black. Like storm raging, wind is crazy, and my brother, my father, and I are scotched on half of this mattress because the other half was soaked. Keep in mind, ignore this. Keep in mind the other half was soaked because hey, there is partially a roof. So like we literally, I don't know how we got it done. Like, this is the bed, this is the mattress, and like we just like all on like this little diagonal like corner. Like, oh my gosh, like, is this really happening? So then eventually, like around like 8 o'clock or something, he finally gets to make a call. It doesn't go to my grandparents. I don't know, because of like the suppliers or whatever. He calls my mother and gets her to call grandparents, and they're like, okay, they're coming. So my cousin drove, and he came up there in the car, and we were like, okay, cool, like we're supposed to get rescued. Who gonna sleep in this structure? Not me, not us. They leave home, they're on their way for us, and they can't see nothing. They can't see anything. Like they get there, is a bunch of bush. As I told you, like this house was this building is kind of like literally in the middle of nowhere. We didn't have many houses around, so my cousin know like trying to get to the area which he ain't too familiar with. Like he knows it, but like it's in the middle of a storm. It's like pitch black, and like so he came to where he thought was like be close behind the house, but they could have approached the house from any end. And I think what was the most hurtful part was like we either got through to them when he was outside or something like that. Yeah, I think my cousin was able to get through to us, and he called and he's like, he can't get to the house, he can't get close there, and it wasn't even like a distance where we could like walk through. It would have been very dangerous for us to like walk a good ways through that, and as he's like, we gotta go back and we gotta come back tomorrow, like, we see the light from the car like shine through the room. Well, I assume it's out like from where it was coming from. The cars already be there. They know he asked me like he think he's outside of the house, and we just saw the light, and it was literally like hope is just like being like drained from your spirit. So there's that. So then the night passes. It was the longest night ever. Obviously, like, we didn't really sleep. Like, we checking the time every minute until the phone actually dies. We are starving. We ain't eat since lunch. We are like starving, and it was just, that was, I mean, we laughed at it, no, we made jokes about it, but it was just so crazy because it's like, yo, like, we don't know what's gonna be the outcome. Obviously, we just go like wait it out to the next day or whatever, but like, it was just very weird. Like, the house wasn't fully secure. It's in the middle of the night. You don't know, like, there was a lot we didn't know. There was a lot of uncertainty. So the night passes. It's just hard. It's just rough because we can't really sleep like that. The bed is getting soaked, and I'm just here like, yo, like, this is it for me. Like, I'm gonna die. Like, I thought I was gonna die. I was like, I'm gonna die. I'm dramatic. I thought I was gonna die. So then eventually morning breaks, and we just so hungry, like so hungry, so thirsty, everything. There's nothing there, as I told y'all, as I keep telling y'all, it's a structure. So we go outside. We go outside to this coconut tree. This story is just, we go outside to this coconut tree. My dad grabs a coconut, and I think he has something to cut it. So he cut it, and we like literally sharing this coconut. I hate coconut water. Well, I drink it now because it's good for you, so I have to force myself to drink it. But at that time, I would not mess with coconut water. And I mean, obviously in a situation like that, you can't be picky. But at the end of the day, you like when you like. So we're there, and I'm like, this is what life has come to. And there's this big green coconut in my hand, and we go like share it, like carry it around and share it. But like bright and early, probably when 7 hit, my cousin and my grandparents were there for us. They were like, oh, these poor children. I'm like, bro, your son is right there. So she brought us like a big pep Sprite, some like glasses, and like little biscuits or something to like hold us till we get down the hill to get home. I say down the hill, but it's a good distance. It's a good distance. If anybody knows, y'all know like Little Bay, Pike Corner, and then Shorty Village, St. Andrew. You go past Cherry Tree Hill and all that. It's a good little drive, but you just sit down the hill. But anyways, I think that's all the details. It's not really too like exciting of a story, but it's crazy. And I when I talk about it, I don't talk about it in as many details as I try to recall today. So I'm just stunned.
The woman was too stunned to speak.
Like thinking about the situation. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If y'all have any questions about this experience, comment down below. DM me on Instagram. Let me see if anything else comes to mind. But it was just crazy. I don't remember exactly like how they got the van moved, like how they got back there for it or that sort of stuff. But just the sequence, the series of events that happened, it was just crazy because it's like you're still trying to have hope. It's like, yeah, the van stick up. It's like we could just call somebody, then there's like no service, but we could just knock on the door and then there's like no service there either, and then it's like, okay, we're dying. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If y'all want more story time, just let me know. I have some interesting stories. I just don't think I'm the best storyteller. So if y'all want more story times, just let me know. And do not forget to like this video if you enjoyed it. Make sure you sub by now. If you make it this far in the video and you don't subscribe, you trifling. You are. I'm not taking that back. You trifling. Why you unsubscribe? Try to subscribe to the video. And as I always say,